Hey guys, Andy here. So my current smartwatch is a Huawei smartwatch. It's the Huawei W1, I think. I bought it 2 years ago in the Black Friday sales, but it was like a year old even when I bought it, if you know what I mean. It'd been released a year previously. It actually still does a reasonable job. I have no real particular issues with it, other than that it doesn't charge always. So the magnetic charging base, even though it seems like it's fully clicked in place, doesn't always charge the watch. I have to sometimes kind of jiggle them about it. Sometimes I'm there for a couple of minutes until finally it says that it's charging. It can be really annoying if I don't pay attention. I drop it on, I wake up in the morning, put my watch on, and it's got like 13% left in it. So when I saw that the Huawei Mate 20 Pro came with the free Huawei Watch GT, I thought, oh, okay, I could do with a new watch. I have been thinking about getting a new watch. Let's give it a go. And here it is. As you can see straight away, no always on display. But if we talk about the design initially, it feels quite a solid design. It doesn't feel, it feels well made, doesn't feel cheap. It's quite large. I mean, I'm quite a large person, so I think it looks okay on my wrist. You might not like it so much if you're a bit of a thinner wrist. It's only 46 grams. Mind you, I don't entirely know how that compares to other watches, but it doesn't feel heavy. To me, feels a good weight. I do quite like the rubber strap. It's a big strap, so even for me with big wrists, I've got a few spare holes on the end of it. So it's very flexible. It's nice and soft. It's compatible with any other sort of 20mm watch strap, and it's quite easy to replace just by pulling the little lever down there and springing it out. It's actually really comfortable to wear. I didn't think so. One of the things it does is track your sleep. I didn't think, well, I'm not going to want to wear a watch while I sleep. I've always thought that. So with these new fitness trackers that come out, I thought, well, I don't want to wear a watch. I have them clipped. I clip them generally to my duvet at the moment. But I thought, okay, I'm going to try it. I'll try and sleep with. And actually, it was fine. I really didn't notice it at all. We'll come to kind of the figures from the sleep tracking. The actual hardware itself, there's two different chipsets in the device, so it can kind of power up when it needs to, but it can run on a low power mode when it's not needed. It's got 4 gig of storage and 768 megabytes of RAM. The heart rate monitor is a TrueScene 3.0 heart rate monitor. Huawei claim it's much more accurate than most watch heart rate monitors. I found it to be quite accurate. I remember I reviewed the Samsung, was it Gear S3 about a year ago, and one of my concerns was I just didn't believe the heart rate monitor. So compared to a few other things, be it my earpiece, my headphones that measure heart rates, or the monitors at the gym that you hold on to, it just didn't seem very accurate. I cycled somewhere, the watch said 93 beats per minute, and my earpiece said 130. I believed the 130, I could feel my heart going. This watch, on the other hand, has always seemed to be pretty solid, I would say. If we scroll sideways, that's where we see the graph. So you can see obviously there's times where I've not worn it, so there's big gaps in it. There's other times, apart from that, you can see, and that's where I was at the gym this morning, the big hump in the middle there. It also has an accelerometer, a gyro, a barometer, a compass, and it is 50 meters waterproof. It also has its own built-in GPS, which is going to be handy if you go running with it. The screen is a 1.39-inch AMOLED screen. It's 57.9% screen-to-body ratio, which isn't particularly good. As I say, it's quite a big device. And the screen in the center of it there, I mean, I don't have an issue with that, but you might if you don't like the big bezels and just the general size of the watch. As you've seen, and I've pointed out, it's got no always-on display. I wouldn't say it's all that sensitive. I like being able to just kind of twist my wrist slightly and having a quick glance at what the time might be or what notification might have just come in. And you do have to lift all the way up to be able to see it. When you do lift your arm up, it generally is quite reliable though. All in all, I think the screen though does look really, really good. Nice bright colours, nice and strong. Really a very nice screen. If we talk about the software for a moment, it's running Huawei's own Light OS. I would guess by the title of that it is, the idea being it's quite a light operating system. I do have a few issues with it. One is about the notifications. So they all look the same. They're all basically are messages. Any notification you get is a message. You can't particularly interact with them. I can tap on it and I just see just that one notification on the screen, but I can't individually dismiss a notification. So to be honest, really quite poor on the notification front. I also noticed that I get a notification for anything. So when I start playing music, and therefore the constant notification pops in on the phone, my wrist will buzz because there's a new notification there. Annoyingly, that's the other thing, you can't control the music from the notifications on the phone. You can't interact really with the watch, in any particular way. You can't voice control, you can't reply to messages using your voice. It is pretty cut off in that respect. I do love the constant heart rate monitoring though. I mean, obviously it's not going to work while I've not got it on, but I don't particularly know why. I just quite like, I don't know when it's going to realise that it's back on my arm. I wouldn't have thought I have to tie the strap up, but I do like just having my heart rate that I can have a glance if I think I'm working hard or something like that, or just see how low it goes. I've realised that my heart rate I have quite a low resting heart rate. You'll see at times it's registered at 44 beats per minute. Not very often, it's normally around 60, but at the same time it's very easy for it to head up into the hundreds. So I'll just go up some stairs and it'll go right up there. But I do like that I can just see at any split second I can see what my heart rate is, and it, as I said already, it does seem to be quite accurate. If we move over into the actual app, so it's all done in a health app, which will give you a bit of a clue of what I'm going to talk about later as far as the watch and its purpose, perhaps. So you open the app up, you might have to pull down to get it to sync, but you should find everything in there. So if we have a look first of all at sleep tracking, I quite like the sleep tracking again, so I can see how much deep sleep, and it seems to be, I forget if I can do it, there we go. You can go day to day. Oh, I think that might just have updated. Or we can look at by the week and see what it's been doing. We get a score for my sleep. We get a breakdown of how much is deep and how much is light, how much is REM. A bit more information about it there. So I like that. Weight, we don't need to worry about. Heart rate. So again, we see the graph of the different times of the day. So that's when I was at the gym and it was up in the 120s, 130s. But generally, this is through the night look. It's interesting, it seems to get kind of lower and lower until I wake up, and then it sort of picks up again. But yeah, I like having that kind of information. That's quite cool. And it does store the exercise records. So when you're at the gym, I'll show you on the phone, use the bottom right button to bring up the different exercises that you might be doing. So I do this whole sort of, where was it? I thought it was a stationary cycling, but maybe I actually did indoor cycling by mistake. Possibly. Or you can go other as far as when I was just lifting weights, that's fine. There are some options, but I'm not entirely sure. So you can set a target for calories or time, and you can set reminders for training effects. But this just kind of told me every now and then, almost like, well, you've hit level 1, you've hit level 2. After you finish on the watch, you do get kind of a summary. You can scroll through showing you graphs of your heart rate and calories burned, that kind of thing. But you can also see that on the phone when you synced up on the phone. So you start off with just the details. So there's the training effect that it announces, 1 and 2 and stuff like that. If we go over to charts though, again, I quite like this here, so I can see my heart rate through the different points of the session. And when I tap on it, it opens up. So I'm a bit worried. How do I get down to? That seems to drop off very quickly in a matter of seconds, which is probably unlikely, I would have thought. So maybe just for a little while it was reading inaccurately. But then again, it seems to happen quite often between, obviously, the exercises. I try not to rest much. The whole point for me is that I keep my heart rate high, even though I'm lifting weights. So I like that I can see the graph. That's quite good. I don't think we get any more information on that one, no, but it tells us what sort of zone what zone I'm working out in. Oh yeah, sorry, I skipped over something on the actual software that I just seen in my notes that I was going to mention. So if we can scroll side to side to see the different things. Weather, I'm fairly sure, is broken. I don't particularly see anywhere I change the settings in the app. There is a point where we get to sort of allow notification. There you go, weather reports enabled, it's on, but on the device, it's stuck on that. It's been stuck on that for days. more of actual fitness information, and then we get a few different screens depending on your preference, basically. So you have more classic looking watches, but then I don't think you see the heart rate monitor. You have to swipe sideways for it from that one. It's generally quite slick and smooth, with it being a light sort of OS, and I quite like it. It's okay. One option, and I forget where that is, maybe it's in the phone, is to get notifications. Turn that off. To get notifications about reminding me to move. I've got it turned on. I forget exactly where it is, but I've never had a notification. One of the big draws to this watch is the battery. So it's only actually 420 milliamp hours. I say only because obviously, in phones it's going to be 10 times bigger than that. And there's no wireless charging, which is a little bit weird, because one of the big sort of draws to the Huawei Mate 20 Pro was that it has reverse wireless charging. So it'd have been great if you could just leave your watch on the back and it would charge it, but unfortunately not. They quote that you can have it up to kind of, I think it's almost 30 days of battery life. Now, I have the heart rate monitoring on constantly. I've been using it for 3 days and it's only dropped to 83%, which makes me think that it's probably going to go about 15 days. I think that maths is about right. 12 to 15 days. If I keep going like that, which is pretty damn good, I would say. Most smartwatches you're looking at every other night at best. And if you turn off the constant heart rate monitoring, that's probably how you do get it to the 30 days. And I would believe then, in that case, that it would. So, for me, the problems though with the phone, there's no always on display. That's quite a big one. There's no real app store, I don't think, so you're limited to what there's on the watch already. The notification system is pretty poor. They all look the same. You can't interact with it. You can't really interact with the watch in any way. The screen does look great though. It's reasonably slick and smooth, the software. I do like the heart rate monitor. I do like the battery life. But as somebody has said in the unboxing video, it's not a smartwatch. It's an activity tracker. It's like a fitness tracker. And I think you need to know that if that's what you're, if you're thinking to buy this, you need to bear that in mind. If you want an actual smartwatch, look for something with Wear OS on. If you're after an activity tracker, actually I think it's a really good one. For me, there's two real reasons why I wear a watch. One is to tell the time, and the other is to get the notifications. Because it's not got the always on display, it's not great at telling the time. And I've already discussed the notifications aren't very good. So for me, it's not the right watch for me, I think. I really do like the constant heart rate monitoring, which kind of makes me think, just stick with it. On the other hand, I think there's probably a similar actual Android Wear or Wear OS watch out there for me that would do a similar thing. If you know what that watch is, let me know in the comments down below. If you have any other thoughts on this video or on this watch, please let me know in the comments down below. But for now, my name's Andy, and I'll catch you all again soon. Well done, and thank you for making it to the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, you might want to click the little fellow that should hopefully appear about here to subscribe. You may also want to check out some of my other videos, which are going to appear somewhere there. Also, come and have a look at my website, androidandy.uk. There is also a forum. Come and say hello on the forum. If you've got any questions about things or request me to review things or anything else, just come and have a chat on the forum.